Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me. Today I am super excited to bring you the latest release from Magic Square. This is the MS-B54D Tornado. This of course is the IDW version or toy version of Vortex for their Decepticon Bruticus combiner. They've released 4 so far, and each one has actually blown me out of the water. It's getting better with each release, and this guy's no exception. Just as good as the original, this time in toy version. Let's go ahead and get started. And we got to start with accessories. So, in addition to the instruction manual and this time the multicolored collector's card, you do get a few things. You do get his blaster, same thing that we saw before, done in blue. It's got some detail on there, not bad, and it does separate here in order to add as the nose gun for alt mode, for helicopter mode. So that's a pretty neat function. If I can get my camera to focus on it. So not bad. You do get 2 of his arm blasters. They also serve as side guns for helicopter mode, done in the same blue plastic, but this time the tip is painted black and the mounting point is painted gray. He also comes with his helicopter blades. They do unfold just as before, done in gray with black paint on the tips. These are actually a little bit stiffer than the original, so they hold their shape better. No problem with the original at all, but definitely seems a bit tighter on this version, at least mine. He comes with the left hand of Bruticus. Not much difference here. A little bit of blue paint on the arms, which I think is different than the original. But it does have very nice articulation. You can splay the fingers out. Thumb can move up and down on a ball. And each finger has 2 points of articulation, including the thumb. So definitely make a fist. Plus it has an outward movement. And lastly, it does come with the upper torso for Bruticus. Really impressed with the head on this, although it is the same. No difference between cartoon and toy versions. Looks really good. Done in gray plastic, but the eyes are very vibrant red. A matte red. I think it looks really good. It's not shiny, but it doesn't, I don't feel like it needs to be. I think they did a really good job with it. Main difference is this time the main part of the torso is the same blue as what we saw with Onslaught, instead of gray with the Toon version. I don't know. I might use this on my Toon version. I don't know. We'll see. But we won't be going into combine mode. We're going to save that for when Blast Off comes out, and we'll do a full combined video at that point. For the purposes of this review, we are going to go ahead and start in alt mode, since we did the Toon version starting in robot mode. And we'll show the transformation both ways on the channel. So here we have him straight out of the box. He comes in robot mode, so I have transformed him. Visually identical to the Toon version in every way, from what I can tell. You do have the same black paint for the windows, blue coming down the front. You've got his gun. I've already installed it. You do have some black paint on the engines on the rear, as well as black paint on the tips of the tail rotor. Other than that, it's really just gray plastic, but I think they did an okay job. There's the view from the front, side, bottom. Definitely a bot in there. But he does have the faux rear landing gear that folds down there. I wish it would have been a real wheel, but I can understand why they didn't do it, because it has to plug into his chest. So I think they can have a pass on that. Tail rotor is very tight, so don't expect that to spin. These, they were an annoyance with the first release too. The slightest bump is going to put them out of whack. So just be aware of that. Keeping the tail in place is going to be a challenge, but just do your best. That's all we can say. Lots of wide open here. Not much as far as detail, but there is some etched in there. Looking at the top, a little bit of ugliness here, but it's not bad. But we can now go ahead and bring in the rotor blades, and you can pop these in and out. I don't recommend it, because you see it is on a plastic ball, and I don't know how long it's going to last, but get that popped in there. I feel like this version, the paint is a little thicker on the blades, causing it to not go perfectly straight, but I think it looks okay. As per the first release, the rotors do spin quite freely, and that's nice. We can also bring in the two side guns, and they just attach to the slots right here on the side. You definitely want to expect these to fall out as well from time to time, so be aware of that. And there we go. We have Vortex all armed up, and I really do think he looks fantastic. Here he is with the original toy version on the left, IDW version on the right. And as you can see, other than the decals I've added, not much difference at all. Just to show some scale, here he is with New Age Starscream. Just for tradition, here he is with New Age Jazz. And there he is with his fellow Combaticons that have been released so far. Just one more to go. And here we have him in robot mode. Transformation was a little sloppy. I apologize for that, but I did get these finally positioned right. It comes down to this is how you want it to look, so you can peg it in on the sides. But work with it. You'll get it. It just involves flipping them around to where they'll peg in. They'll twist in. But looking at the robot, he does still have his blades. They're spinnable. Coming to the head, this is the only thing that's changed from what I can tell from the original. Looks really good in the blue with the red visor. It's also painted red on the back. No gaps across the shoulders, which is nice. Shoulders do have a little bit of a butterfly. You can do the full 360. They do have a double joint just due to transformation. And they do rotate, which is very tight on mine. I don't know if it's going to be the same for yours, but rather tight, so be careful. Looks really nice. I wish the head had more to it than just being on a peg. It's the gripe of a lot of people. Blue across the chest and the lower abdomen or the crotch. A lot of people were surprised that he does actually have an ab crunch. It locks in, so it's there, easily missable because people don't want to pull very hard. Full 360 rotation, and he does have also a little bit of teapot motion due to transformation or due to combine mode. No hip skirts, so hip skirts on the side, maybe. Nope, no hip skirts all the way out to 90 degrees, up that far, and back that far. You do have rotation. It's going to be a little tight out of the box, but it'll loosen up. You do have a double jointed knee, which when you engage will get you that far back. Blue plastic for the thighs, black paint on the front, and the gray has a very matte feel. It feels like paint, but it's not. It's just their typical plastic. Black on the toes. There's the inside of the legs. A little bit of a gap. Not a huge issue. And the toes, the feet actually do have rotation at the toe as well as a rocker. If you do the transformation right, you want to make sure that you fold the feet down and make sure that this connection here is tight. And then you'll have full access to that rocker, but no up and down. So a little bit of a limitation as far as articulation, mainly the head. When you have an av crunch, I really do feel like you need to be able to pivot the head back. So he doesn't have that ability, so that's disappointing. Other than that, and the lack of up and down on the feet, I think he's a really good bot. As far as accessories, we can now bring in the arms. Make sure you have the one for the right side. They'll peg in here. Sorry, here. And this will spin and make the connection there on the side of the arm. So we can do that on both sides. And it is a very nice, tight connection. So you don't have to worry about them falling out in this mode. And lastly, we can actually bring in his cannon, or his pistol. And it fits just fine. For a height comparison, here he is with the Magic Square Megatron, and once again, the New Age Starscream. And here he is with his teammates that have been released so far. Just waiting for blast off. So let's talk about the negatives. Head articulation, lack of pivot up and down in the foot. Those are really my only concerns. There's a lot of gray plastic, but that's typical for Magic Square. We can't really make that a complaint. As far as positives go, I do really enjoy the blue head. The difference is nice. The paint that is there is done well. I've not had any issues. No problems as far as parts not lining up. The transformation is a bit of a bear, but once you get used to it, it is pretty fun. Just pay attention during those legs to get those flaps right. It really is a very nice version of Vortex, regardless of the toon version or the cartoon version, whichever way you choose to go. Overall, I really do feel like this is an amazing figure. Again, you've heard me say, regardless of whether you go toon or IDW, I think they're both fantastic. I plan on displaying a combiner version of each toon and IDW, so I'm happy that I got both versions. They're fantastic, as well are the rest of the figures in the line. I'm super excited now for Blast Off. He's always been my least favorite Combaticon, and I have two versions of Blast Off and Masterpiece. Neither one of them really hit the mark, so I'm hoping that Magic Square does. So far, they've been very impressive. I did purchase mine from showzstore.com. Check them out. I know that Magic Square Toys.com has them available as well, and Toy Dojo and Chosen Prime should be getting him in soon. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to get your bell on so you get notified about future content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.